Coming up on this episode of Outlook TV, Montreal Community Days.
And A Mother Apart premiering at the Vancouver Queer Film Festival.
The Montreal IMMIX show. And much, much more.
Hello and welcome to Outlook TV. I'm Emily Ann Fraser.
And my name is T. We'd like to thank the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh Nations for the honor and privilege to film this episode of Outlook TV on their traditional unceded lands.
Outlook TV is the queer magazine news show that brings you the stories that matter the most from coast to coast. And speaking of all the way on the other side of the coast, Andre has Montreal Community Days Part 1 taking off. Check it out.
Whatever forced Montreal Pride to combine two community days into one, so we have lots to share with you. This is the first of our two-part story about community days on St. Catherine Street.
Our kiosk here today is to inform people of the services that we offer to families and individuals. It is greatly important for PFLAG Canada Montreal to be here today because our fight is not over. We provide meetups for groups or for individuals. We offer different services, active listening, we offer references, resources for LGBTQ individuals and their families.
It's important to participate to those community days because we want to meet the people that don't already know our services, and we want to offer help, talk about the work we do. We also want to show that we support the whole community, and we are proud to be here with Fierté Montréal.
Today I'm actually tabling with Latinx Burlesque. So we are the only Latinx burlesque and drag collective in all of North America. We're very proud of that. We are a collective of women, men, gender non-conforming, and trans folk, all of Latin descent. And so we're just trying to give our culture back to the country that has opened its arms completely to us.
Today I'm with la COQ-SIDA, Coalition des organismes communautaires québécois de la lutte contre le sida. They're regrouping all the non-profit organizations working against HIV. And I'm with them today to promote I égale I, in English, U equal U. That means undetectable equal untransmittable. And we want to make everyone know about it because we try to unstigmatize people living with HIV.
Esprit and beauty, let's go!
I'm here today to have fun with my family, especially and friends. But I'm also here to represent for the dolls, because we're a community under attack at the moment, and we need to showcase all of our beauty here.
I'm from Asheville, North Carolina, and I'm here today for Pride. It's my first trip to Montreal.
Don't forget to watch our part 2 of this story in our October show. Andre Tardif for Outlook TV in Montreal.
The film industry comes to Vancouver for the Queer Film Festival, and Elliot's got the story from the red carpet.
Join me on the red carpet at the Vancouver Queer Film Festival as we speak with the artists who's presenting their films throughout the festival.
So the film bonus track is about two teenage boys at school in England. One of the boys is a bit of a loser, and one of the boys is the son of a famous musical duo. And it's about them kind of sparking up a random friendship, which leads to something more, with a nice underlying tone of music and, of course, the hellscape of being 16. The role that I got to play was really interesting and had loads of layers to it, which made the experience so much more interesting.
Miles Inconvenient is actually the story of how I created Gotland Indigenous Comedy Show, where we express solidarity through humor. I am a two-spirited comedian, and in Ottawa, Ontario, I realized I was just one of the Indigenous comedians that were being tokenized, and there was only one Indigenous comedian on any show, and I was like, there should be more. We're a community, we're here, and so I developed Gotland to bring us all together.
12 Angry Lesbians is a comedic riff on 12 Angry Men, the 1957 film about 12 men, mostly Caucasian, who are trapped in a room because they have to decide the fate of an African-American descendant. So 12 Angry Lesbians is about a lesbian of color softball team who is trapped in their annual pre-season meeting.
My film is called Passiflora. It is inspired in the Brazilian folklore surrounding the passion fruit. Some communities in the north and northeast of the country, they believe that you're going to fall in love with the first person you see after eating a passion fruit. So we created this whole story, coming-of-age story of a guy coming to terms with his sexuality after having a magical passion fruit drink at a club.
Nada do químico. Todos os seus desejos se realizando ao mesmo tempo agora.
It's called Pure Nation, and it's about group of friends, LGBTQIA folks that are in old age, and they are trying to find a new home to live their old age and dealing with the challenge of their old age.
Sometimes maybe see a little bit more how important it is.
My film, The Birdhouse, is basically an experimental documentary that follows this group, which originally was at the Warehouse, but also before that was also at Cobalt and Clubhouse. And it follows them into their move and their transition into the Birdhouse, which is a DIY event space for trans and lesbian and queer people. And it's also run by lesbians and trans people.
Yeah, the Birdhouse is an arts and event space located in Mount Pleasant, Vancouver. And we have a really wide variety of programming, like everything from like DJ focus nights to live music. We do a lot of drag programming, and it is specifically focused on the queer community and the trans community.
And take it up a level, the grandmas are gay too.
Unusually Normal is about 3 generations of gay women in one family. So we explore the different eras, the grandmas, her daughter, and their partners. They're all married. The youngest generation is Madison, and she boasts of 4 mothers and 2 grandmas.
What a fabulous evening. From Vancouver, British Columbia, I'm Elliot Walker for Outlook TV.
Oh, well, we're going to have to take a little break, but don't go anywhere because those red carpet queer filmmakers, I mean, geez, that's the future of queer film. That is cinema. That is storytelling.
We get it. Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
And bringing us back is Ollie over in Montreal, where he showcases a gaggle of Montreal musicians. It's the Montreal IMMIX show.
Well, hello, Look TV. It's me, Ollie. Last summer, I got to attend IMMIX, an amazing show at Fierté Montréal. And today, in this story, you get to see a highlight from this amazing show. IMMIX actually showcases a lot of 2S LGBTQIA+ musicians on the Montreal scene, as well as some highlights. And this year, the biggest highlight was Mitsu. Montreal is coming back next summer. Make sure you check out their website to see if IMMIX coming back. For Outlook TV, this is Ollie in Montreal.
And T has our next story, and he takes us on a walk to remember. It's a queer walk in Edmonton.
I've got a great story for you. It involves education, entertainment in Edmonton. Brought to you by the letter E. I've joined the Queer History Walking Tour, so let's go for a walk and learn something.
Queer history and queer people have always existed in Edmonton. You just need to know where to look.
I'd always had an interest in queer history. This year I've been involved in Edmonton's queer history for 25 years professionally, so it just seemed like a natural extension to get involved with the project, and then that led to me learning enough stuff to do some of these walking tours over the last few years. So this is my third summer, I think, with walking tours. Last year and then again this year, we decided, well, what if we kind of break it down with some different routes, some different themes. So with the themes, we can bring on different people to guide it, depending on people's particular interests. So the one that we did today was a Kings, Queens, and Queer Nightlife. So it's kind of a look at the history of drag, specifically the history of the Imperial Seven Court of the Wild Rose in Edmonton, but there's also been ones that are kind of focused more on politics or lesbian history, or venues on the other end of Jasper, like kind of a West End walking tour, bathhouses and bars. So different themes to generate people's different interests. They're a 90-minute walking tour, so it's very hard to do all the history that there is to do in 90 minutes. So breaking it down gives people the opportunities to come back on a few.
To do these queer history walking tours that we just finished. Edmonton Queer History Project worked to put together a map of downtown, and these tours we do incorporate some of that map and in different segments, so it allows us to cover different topics for each one that's done. Depending on the topic of the tour, the subject matter that they're covering, they'll pick a host that has the most knowledge of that. So I've been a part of the court since it began. I was a founding member, so they chose me for this. I did one a couple months ago in May on Flashback, and I did it with Twiggy, and the two of us were very much involved in Flashback. So we know a lot about the subject matter that we're going to be talking about.
I think we did 10 this year. We're looking at how that's going to work next year. 10 might be too much. Luckily, we have had a great sponsorship relationship with the Edmonton Downtown Business Association, which kind of helps provide the curators of the tours with some honorariums, because it's really important for us to keep the tours free so that they're as accessible as possible. We don't want to gatekeep the queer history any more than we need to. So we'll look how that looks next year.
Listen, you'll find and unearth stories about queer people from the past and present, and how these inspiring leaders have helped to bring forth local and national change.
Thank you for an amazing tour and continuing to promote our history. From Edmonton, my name is T for Outlook TV. Well, it's time for another break.
What did you see on your walk, T?
Gay geese.
Geese. Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
Fancy's got our next story where we celebrate our own community. It's the Jose Honors 2024. We are in Indianapolis for the 2024 Jose Honors Dinner. Tonight, the international court system celebrates their highest honors that they give out to all their members. Let's find out who the recipients are.
The Jose Honors is actually the highest award we give out in the international court system, and it is given to a court member for outstanding contribution to the community, to the court, and that is above and beyond. And it was started by the Queen Mother of the Americas, Empress Nicole the Great, in 1997, was the first one held in San Diego. And the first few years, it was held every year, but about 12 years ago, we started doing it every 2 years. It's usually nominated by any peer or by their courts and board of directors or governing board, and it goes to a committee that reviews the application, and finally it is sent to the Queen Mother for final selection. And this year, we're actually honoring Empress Jill Davis Monroe, who is from Hamilton, Ontario, and we're also honoring Emperor Dante Lionheart Davidson, who's from London, Ontario. It's not a competition, and each nomination is reviewed individually based on where they are, what they do for the community. And it's not limited to court contributions. We take into consideration what they do for the community at large, locally. And internationally also, if they do that. We can actually receive a replica, a bust of Empress Jose. And starting this year, we're actually giving out commemorative medals that they could wear, because obviously you cannot bring that trophy with you everywhere or wear it around your neck because it's quite heavy. But so this year we created a medal for the honorees, and we're also making it available for past honorees as well.
I received my award in 2022. I was nominated by the King Father of Canada, John Ripson, and I received the award.
24 Jose Honoree Dante Lionheart Davis, Emperor from London, Ontario.
I have been part of the Royal Imperial Sullivan Court, Lyndhurst, Western Ontario, for 21 years and 2 months.
After so many years, why do you continue to represent the court?
Because there's a lot of fun, respect, and I like making money for charity. I've been feeding kids for over 30 some odd years, just on Wednesdays to make sure, because they're on fixed income, so we make sure they have a good, at least one good lunch per week.
A huge congratulations to all the recipients. My name is Empress Sister Fancy Pants for Outlook TV.
Our next story is A Mother Apart, a film premiering at the Vancouver Queer Film Festival, and this story explores the diverse relationship we have with our mothers. Check it out.
Hello, viewers. Outlook TV is here at the Vancouver premiere of A Mother Apart, taking place at the Vancouver Queer Film Festival, where I get up close and personal with Laurie Townsend, the director, and her star, Stacey Ann Chin. Follow me.
No one was waiting for me to be born.
Nobody?
Nobody.
You were waiting for me to be born.
Absolutely.
Mother Apart is a story that follows Stacey Ann Chin. She's a poet, an activist, a mom herself. It follows her on this journey of forgiveness with the mother who abandoned her as an infant. For much of her adult life, she's been involved in a one-sided attempt to sort of narrow the distance between her mother and herself. She wrestles with what it means to raise her own daughter without the wounds, of that childhood trauma, without passing those wounds down to her own daughter. And they can also inform how we show up and mother ourselves, which is such a powerful and important theme in this film.
As a child, I always imagined home being where my mother was.
I don't know of another film out there that gets into the interior life of a Black queer woman the way this film does, that tackles these themes of motherhood in such an intimate and expansive way.
My mother left me long before I was born.
I'm a memoir writer, so I'm used to having my whole story be out in the world. It was different, and interestingly different, in that somebody else was in control of the tale this time. I wasn't choosing the words, all of them. I wasn't choosing the phrases. I wasn't choosing the moments that were featured. So it did feel a tad more vulnerable than normal. Perhaps the most important thing I want people to walk away from the film feeling and thinking is that at any point in your life, one thing may be true. And if you just hang on and wait a little bit and live a little bit, then something else can be true. My mother left me a long time ago, and that was painful, and she left me to the mercy of the world that perhaps didn't care for me. But that wasn't the end of our journey. No one knows how life will treat us at the beginning of your life. No one knows how many people will hold you or love you, or how many people you will hurt. Forgiveness is perhaps one of the most important ingredients of any relationship that will stand the test of time. If you want to be with someone long enough, whether it's a lover or a friend or a child or a teacher or a coworker, you have to learn to forgive them, because the closer you get to people, the more intimate your journey with them, the more likely it is that they will cause you harm, that the jagged parts of them will rub up against the soft parts of you, and that they'll hurt you. And if every time someone hurts you, you walk away, you end up being alone.
I don't want to do that to you. I definitely want to be a different kind of parent to you.
Every bit of my life is built around the reality of being her mom.
Captivating, heartfelt, this film really shows us what true love can mean. I'm Emily Ann Fraser for Outlook TV Vancouver.
Well, that's all the time we have left for this episode of Outlook TV, but like always, we'll be back.
And make sure you check us out on all our social media platforms and also check in with your mother. Why don't you also consider volunteering with us while you're at it?
Thank you so much for joining us. My name's Emily Ann Fraser.
And my name is T.
Be fabulous, Canada.